Now at 10, the Missouri State Treasurer hits the campus of MSSU to remind families about the 3-day sales tax holiday weekend. Plus, the city of Joplin teams up with the Joplin High School to provide some traffic safety for students. And high heat has taken a high toll on air conditioning units in the 4 states.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A city sales tax will continue to fund Parsons, Kansas emergency responders for at least another decade. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The numbers are in tonight. Parsons voters overwhelmingly say yes to a proposal that'll extend the city's half-cent public safety sales tax for another 10 years. 544 yes, 94 no. The tax supports funding competitive pay to retain experienced police officers and firefighters and to pay for training. It also helps buy vehicles and other critical equipment. That was the only area election today, but several Missouri communities will head to the polls 1 week from today. Most of the issues are tax levy questions. Some will be general sales taxes. Others will be taxes on marijuana sales. For a full list of the elections next week, go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Cities and counties in Missouri can no longer opt out of that state's back-to-school 3-day sales tax holiday weekend. Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik today visited Missouri Southern to remind families about this opportunity. This coming weekend, all sales taxes will be waived for qualifying back-to-school supplies in Missouri. In the past, cities and counties were able to still collect local taxes, but now Malik says that's no longer the case.
Community takes out the value of education, the value of saving for their kids, their grandkids, and I hope that they will understand how it can enhance the next generation and enable the next generation to succeed, whatever path they take.
That tax-free holiday runs from Friday through Sunday. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane now for a first look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Dow. It's been a hot one across the area. A few showers on radar right now this evening, but they're way up to the north and east, up towards Quincy, Illinois, and also moving into the St. Louis area. There's a flash flood watch, in fact, for a large segment of eastern Missouri, but not for our area. Instead, we're going to see mostly fair skies tonight, with temperatures dropping down through the 80s into about 78 degrees by tomorrow morning under a full moon. Then as we go into tomorrow, the UV index is going to be very high, about 10 on the scale. So that means very little burn time, about 10 to 15 minutes. So make sure you are taking the precautions. And looking down the lane, we have another hot day tomorrow as well as the rest of the week. Low rain chances. And we may just give the air conditioners a little bit of a break as we head towards the weekend. And I'll tell you more about that in just a bit.
All right. Catch you soon. Now, because of this recent intense heat, air conditioning repair services are in high demand. One Joplin company says they've received 40% more calls this summer about malfunctioning ACs. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has that story.
During a summer of scorching heat, it's nice to be able to go into a restaurant, cool off, and enjoy a good meal. But last Friday, the staff of El Caballo de Oro noticed part of that was missing.
People used to kind of go in there in the lobby, and sometimes they feel like the must and it's not comfortable. So a lot of people shy away from that.
Staff at the Mexican restaurant called their landlord to have someone check the AC. But according to the owner of Satterley Pumpling Heating and Air Conditioning, the Mexican restaurant is not alone.
Whenever temperatures rise to this level, air conditioners are very taxed and stressed, and we get a lot of calls.
To avoid making these calls yourself, specialists recommend changing the AC filter and washing the condenser coil regularly, as these are some of the most common problems.
Not really anything causes it. It's just, especially when it's 100 degrees outside, people are going to want to stay cool, which who doesn't want to? And so it's running constantly. And so problems just arise.
They also suggest scheduling an annual maintenance to make sure the equipment will be ready when the temperatures rise.
Set up every year. We'll go out, we'll check your unit, we'll wash it, change your filters, and check all the electrical, make sure they're all running at top.
While most of the times you won't know your AC is not working properly until you start feeling your house warmer, knocking sounds and burning smells might indicate something is not right. Heating and Air Tech says temperatures above 105 degrees are beyond capacity for most AC units in our area.
Whatever temperature you keep it at, the odds are your unit is not going to shut off anyway. So I recommend people put it on the temperature they want and see what they achieve.
With the AC now fixed, customers at El Caballo de Oro can once again enjoy their meal in a cool atmosphere.
For the good thing that this week they're all in there and coming in, and it doesn't feel hot right now. I think it's fixed.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Specialists also suggest shading windows and making sure they're efficient to keep environments cooler. Limiting the number of times you open that door to outside can also help. Joplin schools and the city of Joplin have teamed up to install a crosswalk on 20th Street adjacent to Joplin High School. School officials say students crossing 20th Street have been a safety concern for some time. After months of discussions, the city of Joplin and the school district agreed to install a lighted crosswalk and a safety island between two lanes. The city and school district agreed to split the installment cost, which is about $38,000.
I'm hoping that the parents who were greatly concerned about this will have an opportunity to see this in action and will able to have some relief to their concerns about the students who are passing across 20th Street.
Pettit hopes the crosswalk will be installed before the first day of school. We brought you the story of the establishment of the Miami Public School Campus Police Department a few months ago. Well, now as we get closer to the school year, the school district and police department are making preparations to keep students and teachers as safe as possible this year.
The vision of the school to start our new campus police department was to better serve our students and our community. We've had a great partnership with the Miami Police Department for the last 20 years, but we've just branched off this way. We'll have an officer in every school throughout the school days and the school year.
Campus Police Department and administration will continue to make preparations for when students can come back on August 17th. A group of Oklahoma residents is suing to stop the state from establishing and funding what would be our nation's very first religious public charter school. The lawsuit seeks to stop taxpayers' funds from going to the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic Virtual School. Oklahoma's Republican Governor Kevin Stitt earlier this year signed a bill that would give parents in the state a tax incentive to send their children to private schools, including religious schools. Coming up, authorities filed charges against a boat driver in connection with a crash at the Lake of the Ozarks that injured 8 people. Plus, the legal woes continue for President Trump. Former president, as special counsel, brings new charges. State of Missouri carries out its 4th execution of 2023. Johnny Johnson received a lethal injection at the state prison in Bonne Terre this evening. He was convicted of kidnapping 6-year-old Casey Williamson, then brutally murdering her at an abandoned factory back in 2002. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected a request to block Johnson's execution over arguments he was mentally incompetent. Johnson was pronounced dead this evening at 6:33. Suspected serial killer Rex Heuermann made a court appearance in Suffolk County, New York this afternoon. A string of killings known as the Gilgo Beach murders was a cold case for years until the architect was arrested last month and charged with murdering 3 women. He's pleaded not guilty. Investigators are also looking into whether Heuermann is connected to murders in Las Vegas and South Carolina, where he owned properties. The Missouri Highway Patrol has filed charges in connection with a boat accident that injured 8 people. 47-year-old Adam Ramirez is charged with 2 counts of boating while intoxicated, causing serious physical injury on July 22nd. There are 5 additional charges related to the crash on the Lake of the Ozarks that caused multiple broken bones and chemical burns. Ramirez, who is from California, was allegedly piloting the boat at a high rate of speed when it ran aground. The boat went ashore, hitting a lake house and flipping on impact, ejecting all 8 people on board. Former President Donald Trump was indicted for a 3rd time today, this time for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. As Skylar Henry reports, Trump is being accused by the Justice Department of spearheading a criminal conspiracy against the United States.
A federal grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump on felony charges accusing him of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. The 45-page document carries 4 charges unveiled by special counsel Jack Smith.
Today, an indictment was unsealed. charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
In his brief remarks, Smith called the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy.
It was fueled by lies. Lies by the defendant targeted at obstructing a bedrock function of the U.S. government, the nation's process of collecting, counting, and certifying the results of the presidential election.
The special counsel makes clear that his case is based on the premise that this was a president who was determined to stay in power and to do it by spreading lies.
Former President Trump is summoned to appear Thursday afternoon here in Washington in front of a federal magistrate judge following his historic indictment in the 2020 election probe. The former president questioned the timing of the charges on Truth Social, saying in part, "They wanted it right in the middle of my campaign." In a statement, Trump's 2024 election campaign called the indictment election interference. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Former President Trump also faces dozens of federal criminal charges in Florida over his handling of sensitive documents, and Manhattan's DA has charged him in a hush money case. A little bit later, a dunk tank turns out to be a great way to beat the heat during the National Night Out event in Riverton, Kansas.
And you're going to need to beat the heat over the next few days as temperatures are going to be over 100 degrees. I'll have the forecast as well as a look at the weekend when we come back. Well, we are starting off August on a hot note, but of course that's typical for the 4 states. And we're going to see more hot weather for a few more days and then maybe a little bit of a break as we head towards the weekend. But right now, things are looking pretty nice at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Just a few clouds out there, but it's still on the warm side. We made it up to 98 degrees in Joplin today after starting out at 79. Of course, that was above the normals of 91 and 70. No rain today, unfortunately, and so we're already starting off the month of August behind. And of course, we're way behind for the year. Looking at last month, we had 5 days of 100 degrees or more, and that's an error right there. So 5 days and 2 days in June. So we've had about a week of 100 plus so far this summer, which is not too bad. It could be much worse. Right now, we have a few showers on radar up towards the north and east in the northeastern part of Missouri, moving into the St. Louis area. Flash flood watch in effect for a large chunk of Missouri. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer before we start to see some relief in the form of rainfall. In the meantime, we have temperatures in the 90s still at this hour in Chanute at 91, 90 in Neodesha, a little bit cooler over in Cassville with 85, and cooler still at Monette with a current temperature of 80. But when you factor in the dew point, it feels like it's 96 in Commerce, 97 in Chautauqua and Parsons, and Neodesha, 99 still at this hour is what it feels like in Independence. And tomorrow we're going to see temperatures feeling like 105, 106, 107 in Lamar, 106 in Stockton, 109 in Veneta, and the hot spot, Nowata, at 110. Then as we go into Thursday, hot temperatures, or at least feeling like 109 in Nowata on Thursday afternoon, 106 in Parsons. Just another brutal day, one right after the other. And then as we go into Friday, a tad cooler, feeling like only 106 in Joplin, around 111 in Nowata. And as a result, we are under excessive heat warnings for a large chunk of our area, with the exception being our far eastern counties and northwestern Arkansas. Rain is going to be mainly to the north and east over the next few days. And then as we move into Friday and Saturday, maybe a few showers will start to move into our area, giving us a little bit of precipitation. But I think we're going to have to wait until early part of next week to get a bigger chance of storms. We do have this ridge of high pressure that's this heat dome that's sitting over our area. It's going to retreat back towards the west as we go into Friday and Saturday. That's going to lower our temperatures and also increases our chances of precipitation. But tonight, mostly fair with lows in the 70s. I know there's a lot of green on the map, but this is in error. The model's overdoing that. And then as we go into tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see temperatures right at or above 100, especially in southeastern Kansas. And then as we go into Thursday morning, mild once again, southwesterly winds, lows near 80. And then Thursday afternoon, we're going to see temperatures right again around 100 degrees across the region. And then as we go into Friday morning, starting off with a few showers here and there with lows in the 70s. And over the next 7 days, we're going to finally get past this heat wave, but we're going to have to wait till Saturday and Sunday before we start to get closer to normal. And look at Monday. Only 86 for a high with a 40% chance of storms, and then normal next week with highs only in the lower 90s.
Yeah, bring on the normal. Doesn't that
we
sound
have normal,
sweet?
please? Yes.
Thanks, Sam. Hey, one way to beat the heat and make some friends is to volunteer to be the donkey in a dunk tank. Some law officers were good sports and made a splash tonight in Riverton, Kansas. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office hosted a national night out event. It's an opportunity to help build relationships and understanding between first responders and the communities they serve. KOAM photojournalist Friends Wallace was there.
Just want to thank you everybody for coming out tonight to our first national night out. It's been a good turnout. We hope you're having a good time with your kids, interacting with law enforcement and our fellow first responders. We're grateful for all of you. It's an honor to serve this community.
I can't really say I want them to hear anything they don't usually, because I feel like, especially in this community, you know, we try our hardest to make it known that, you know, we're here for them in any way, shape, or form, whether it be on duty or off. They're about to land it. I think it's up in the air right now.
I hear it right now.
Yep, let's go, girls. Come on. You tell Adam thank you for showing you the Bearcat. Well, I think they just came here to show you guys today. It's pretty cool, huh?
And don't get your shoes as dirty as you can.
Pretty cool for sure. The Sheriff's Office also handed out free gun locks. John Dale's here now. Some Little Leaguers from Pittsburgh are about to have the chance to play on ESPN.
Yep, that's right. They're headed to the regionals in Indiana and are playing their best right now. And the Cardinals say goodbye to a couple of fan favorites. More trade deadline news coming up on the other side. J.L. Hutchinson, Little League Baseball's All-Stars from Pittsburgh, won the 12 and under Kansas State tournament last weekend. That means they're headed to the Midwest Regional Championships in Indiana, and they're hoping to punch their ticket to the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Bat meeting ball, a sound familiar to any baseball diamond. Unless, of course, the 12U team from J.L. Hutchinson Little League is out in the field.
So the highlight this season so far has been our tournament in Baxter. We went down there and first 3 games the kids pitched 3 consecutive no-hitters as a team, and then we faced a good Riverton team a second time, and they kind of got our backs against the wall, got back in it 6-5, and Keaton Peak came out and hit a home run to lead off the next inning, and then Luke Jones came back out and I think struck out 5 in the next 6 to get us finish out the game with Fisher closing. So, you know, any team, no matter how good or bad they are, not to give up a hit in Little League 3 times in a row is impressive by the boys, and I was really proud of them, and to realize it happened 3 times in a row was pretty amazing.
Going on a run to a state championship like they have provides for some special memories.
I'm saving a no-hitter in left field by catching a fly ball.
What happened there?
Well, Fisher was pitching, threw one, he hit it. It was like a no-hitter, 0 to like 15, and caught it, made sure they didn't get any.
For now, Pittsburgh prepares to take on another regional qualifier from North Dakota on Friday.
I think we'll be good. We know it's kind of a big game, and we'll probably definitely play our best because we know a lot's at stake.
Even with those high stakes, make no doubt about it, these kids from Pittsburgh are ready for the moment.
I don't know. I think I'll be fine.
J.L. Hutchinson begins play Friday at 10 against North Dakota. That game's on ESPN+. The tournament is an 8-team double elimination. It also features Little Leaguers from Webb City, but only one team from the region can advance to the World Series. In pro baseball, Major League trade deadline now is over. The Royals and Cardinals, along with everybody else, well, they won't be making any more trades the rest of the season. Taking a look at what the Royals did, they send relief pitcher Jose Cuas over to the Cubs. They get Nelson Velasquez in exchange. KC also picks up left-handed pitcher Tucker Davidson from the Angels for cash. Right before the deadline, they send their closer Scott Barlow to San Diego in exchange for their number 10 prospect. Cardinals very active as well. Paul DeJong, who'd been with the Cardinals since 2017, was an All-Star in 2019. He goes to the Blue Jays along with cash. They also send Jack Flaherty, starting pitcher, to the Orioles. He had been with the Cards since being a first-round draft pick in 2014. With the Little Leaguers, though, it's kind of hard to tell, how good a team from North Dakota or any other state would be, but I tell you got to feel pretty good about Pittsburgh knowing that they just threw 3 no-hitters in a row. It's a crazy stat. You can't say it enough times.
Yeah, because generally the pitching was going to fluctuate considerably from game to game, but not so in this case. We'll be right back. Ever had a big meal and experienced the hiccups? Who hasn't, right? Well, this panda bear at a panda base at the China Conservation and Research Center struggling to keep a straight face, but you can see in the video this leisurely bear just hanging out, whole body shaking from a serious bout of hiccups. There are some known remedies for the hiccups, but who's going to be the one to try and scare this bear?
He needs to lay off the bamboo a little bit.
It's tough to tell a panda to hold its breath, too.
Exactly. Exactly. Or scare him real quick.
Yeah. I don't think it'll work. The weather, hot.
It's going to be hot again tomorrow and Thursday. Friday, 99. And then as we go towards the rest of the weekend, cooler, especially Monday with a high of only 86.
Final sports note.
Those Little Leaguers, they start playing on Friday. Pittsburgh Post 64 American Legion Ball, they're also down in Alabama for a tournament. They start tomorrow. So exciting time of the year for baseball.
It is indeed. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great tomorrow.